Okay, hope you are ready for the class. So I'm speaking to the virtual students. Am I audible to you? Is Sandharu and there? Ah, yes, yes. So I hope I'm clearly audible. Please respond once again. Somebody responded, but I was like talking while you're responding.
Yes,
Am
teacher,
I
we can
audible
hear
to you
you.
clearly?
Yes, teacher, we are fine.
Okay, thank you. So how about the class? The ones, especially the ones that are sitting at the very back? Because anyway, you can't see me, like either you are the physically they are, the only the ones those who are sitting in the front can see me. So the ones those who are sitting at the back, you have to make sure that I'm audible because you are getting the subject only through the audio. And also like I got the couple of requests, but of course it needs to be requested. I have to upload the assignment link that I gave so that I will do it because it's been written, but every time it's come into my mind, then again it's forget. So I will do it anyhow today. I will upload the assignment link today because then you can work on it. You have to tell me like where we stopped last time. Today I'm totally blank. I can't even remember where I stopped for your class. What was the last topic we discussed? I do remember we finished competition. I think we started STP. No. Ah, that means we are in the competition. So you have to update me like this PPT, has it already been there in the LMS? Okay, now with your support, we have gone to up to this point. Okay, if I'm just refreshing your mind, like so we have been talking about like, okay, make sure that you are ready for the class first of all. Ready? Yeah, sure, 100%. Like, someone was telling something again. The so far I have taken you through from like basic discussion of marketing, and then we have gone to the role of marketing and then the marketing philosophies, the core marketing concepts, and then we discuss about the marketing environment. Basically, there we discuss about the macro environment, and in the micro environment, we discuss in detail about the behavior of the consumers. It was a separate topic, and then we are in the process of discussing the competition. Okay. So once that one is over, like then the environment side is also fully completed. So why we have to concern about the marketing, competition? Because marketing is all about like we have to understand the customer's requirements. So that's why we discuss in detail about the consumers. And also we have to fulfill that understood customer's requirement better than what competitive products are doing. Okay. So therefore, we have to have an understanding about the competition as well. Then only we can outperform that competitors. So outperforming means what? We have to create a competitive advantage. Okay. So then the entire discussion of this, we are targeting like how our product can be like unique for the customers. Okay. For us to do so, first thing we have to assess our competition. So in terms of assessing competition, like that is what we say, like the competitor analysis. First, basically, we have to identify who our competitors are, and then we have to study about what they are good at and what they are weaker and what their strategies and how they are reacting. Like we have to study about those ones. And then after that, we have to decide with whom that we are having a face-to-face attack and with whom that we have to escape ourselves. And then accordingly, we have to develop I would say the competitive strategies. So that analysis part I have already completed, how we do a competitor analysis. This part. And how we identify the competitive advantages. And also I discussed at the end of this analysis, we might decide whether we are going to have a red ocean strategy or the blue ocean strategy. Red ocean strategy means we are going to be with the competition of the existing, the brands. The blue ocean strategy means we are not going to fight with the people, those who are already there in the market, but we want to identify untapped markets. Like someone has not fulfilled the requirements so that you are going to live with that kind of a market. So that is what we call blue ocean strategy. Okay. And also we discuss for us to do this kind of the competitive analysis, all that matters with how we get the information. Because unlike customers, we can't get the information about the competitors because that is about their sensitive information. Because we don't know, strength and weaknesses, of course, we can have a kind of a feeling. But about their strategies and their objectives and those ones, they will keep within the company. So then how we get to know about those ones? Through the intelligence system. So that means formal and informal way, anyhow, you have to collect the information. The formal way, like industrial reports and some publications, those ones really matters. But even some publications also, like even financial, the reports, what they are publishing may not be the reality. That is just to adhere to the accounting standards. That's it. So that's why even some companies, they have two sets of accounting. The one for the publication purpose and the other one for the really for the board of directors to make decisions. So therefore, even by looking at the financial statement or the financial report that they are publishing, we can't have the pure understanding about what is the status of the particular company. So therefore, we go for a lot of informal ways of getting to know about those companies. As I told you that day, that's why in the marketing field, a lot of functions are happening, a lot of gatherings are happening. It's a kind of an entertainment thing. So every day, discussions, conference, and the get-togethers and those ones, because we feel that, especially for field staff. So in your companies, you might be wondering why the marketing department is spending that much of money. So sometimes even for some people's remuneration itself, it says that this much it's been given for you to entertainment purposes. So then you might be thinking why if it is the same scale in the company, you may not have entertainment allowance, but the marketing people are having entertainment allowance. That is for a purpose. So they can't do the entertainment personally with the family. So they have to spend it with the commercial purpose, because from that they have to learn something. Understand? So that's all informal ways by getting those information even from the more formal and informal ways. The next step is we have to now develop the sound is coming. I don't know whether I'm audible continuously. The ones, those who are in the virtual class, am I smoothly audible to you, or I can hear some sounds? Am I audible continuously?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Then now we have done a competitive analysis. Today the discussion is basically focused about what competitive strategies we have to develop. Okay. But broader marketing strategies might be used by the company, and also for a particular product or a service. Because if you take Unilever, which has a huge product portfolio, so they are developing competitive strategies for a particular brand. Having said that, they have Dove and the Sunsilk both. So for the Sunsilk, they have one competitive strategy which is different from the Dove, but it's in the same product portfolio. So that's why here it say that it's maybe sometime even for a particular product company develop or else to the entire company. So what's the purpose of competitive strategy? Like having said that we have understood the competition, now how we want to make ourselves unique to the customers. How we are like basically battling the field. Understand? Like if you are playing a particular game, now we know about our enemies. Now we know about the ground. Now we know that who are the players. Then it's a matter like now we have a plan. Like it's a matter of playing the battle. So that part is the one like strategies like when there is like say a cricket tournament is there, the team leader is taking the everyone and saying that this is how we have to play the battle today. Because we know that the opposing team, the members are like this for this person. So we have to handle like this. This person should be handled like this. And also you might be the like leader might be arranging like this is the sequence of the batsmen. So after this person, this one should go. And for this batsman, so we have to put this bowler. That's what here it says. Like how we are going to battle the field. So once you have understood. So in this case, like one thing you have to keep in your mind, like there is no universal way that I can't teach in the class. This is how you have to fight with the competitors. Okay. It's something like playing a game, like so it's need a lot of the practices and also experience. And also like I would say it's like you should know the technique first of all. Say that if you are playing for the Sri Lankan cricket team, first you should know the technique. And also it's a lot of the experience that you are getting. Okay. And also how you are facing a particular situation sometimes because you might be under fully stress, limited number of balls and the large number of marks that you have to catch up. So how much the stress that you can tolerate, the confidence and the stress management. Okay. So that it's the same thing what's happening in the corporate where like no one can say this is how you have to beat the battle. So I have given you the sign-up sheets now. Yeah, everything is fine. Huh? Right. Sorry, my train now got um, yeah, so they are like even in the class itself, like you have to keep in your mind. I will give you only the guideline, but how it happen in the corporate, it's totally depending on that person's experience and the situation the person is handling. It's like this. When you are playing cricket, when the ball is coming, say that if you are a batsman, when the ball is coming only, you have to decide how to hit, isn't it? That moment you have to decide. You can't pre-plan anything. You can sometimes pre-plan, you can have, but at a point you have to change it. It needs a lot of contingency planning. So if you are doing the fielding, then again, like you don't know until the ball is coming, how you are going to handle that ball. So that is that versatile. And also like even a chess, every member of the chessboard is having a particular way of going. But whenever you are in a tournament, so how we are using those, the members in the chessboard, it's up to you. And also how the other person is reacting. If the person is putting a one member and then you have to decide which member that I have to use. But the only problem is you should not violate the rule of the game. Same thing is happening here. I can give you the guidelines. So I can tell you like you have to be genuine, but how you are acting, it's totally up to the brand manager. Understand? So that's why the experienced brand managers are being paid well, because that is not something can be copied by another person. So like an experienced cricketer, it's charging a lot. So that's why here it says that no one strategy is best for all companies. Each company must determine what makes the most sense given its position in the industry and its objectives, opportunities, and the resources. It's totally depending on the situation that it's handled. But I will give you some the basic approaches where the predominantly companies are using. The one who is seen in the screen is the Michael Porter. So then what we discussed like Porter's 5 forces model. So he is the one, and he is the one who has discussed about the basic competitive strategies. Basically, we have 3 approaches. Okay. Whatever the strategy the company is doing, so that is it's coming to any of these approaches, maybe either just one approach or more than one approach. Okay, small request like you all have made the temperature as 27. That is even off. Yes, please. And I don't know the way that it's been designed, the class, the lecturer has been placed in the guinea pig position. So make it 26, at least 25. As a virtual class, you have to give us a bit of an excuse because we are just controlling with the temperature of the class. So it is hard for the people to sit like this, like the next time you have to have come with the bit of a heavy clothes, or else they make the wind little reduced. Wind අඩු කරලා තියෙන temperature අඩු කරන්න එපා. Then I feel like no oxygen in the class. Yeah. I know that these two, the rows would be a little difficult. And the student will get. Okay, comfortable. I hope you are comfortable. Okay, I heard that very comfortable. Okay. Okay. Now, so like we say that these are the 3 main competitive or basic competitive strategies. Also, it is being called as basic competitive approaches. Okay. I will start from the first one. The one of this approach is overall cost leadership, where like the company wants to be the cost leader in the market. So that means cheapest product in the market. Okay. That is their strategy. Like Chinese products are doing. So whatever the product manufacturer, wherever in the world, they manufacture basically the imitated version, but for a lower price. So then their competitive strategy, the overall cost leadership. Take it down. The basic competitive strategies also called as basic approaches for competition. The virtual student, I suppose you can see the screen also. I forgot to ask it. Is the screen visible to you?
Yes,
Visible.
Okay, thank you. So the first one is overall cost leadership, where the companies wants to be the cheapest product or service provider. Example, you can take it down as Chinese products in the world context. Basically, their approach to say that we are the one who offers the cheapest product. And sometimes, like with the Sri Lankan economic crisis, some of the companies might be going with this approach. The ones that we have, like you might have seen in Sri Lanka, like instead of the branded soap, laundry soap, the soaps are coming without the brand even. Like then their strategy would be overall cost leadership. If they want to show that their soap is the cheapest in the market. And the other one is differentiation. Like this is the most commonly used one, because you want to show that your product or service is different from that of the competitors. Like that is mainly being used. Like which way that we can differentiate our product from the others. There are different bases where we can make ourselves different from the competitors. One is, first listen to me, then after that we'll go for the note. One way is we can make our product different from their products. Like which way? You would say that, okay, our ingredients are different. Like only they say that they have high calcium. Then they are talking about the ingredients. That means product is different from the other milk powders. And also like the nest malt, which is a malted milk, and they said we have molded so that you give the more energy. Product-based differentiation. And even like the automobile, they say that in terms of the style, the features, design, they say that the Toyota, it's different from Honda. Even any mobile phones, so they say that, okay, our features are like this and their features are like this. So if you are going to make your product is different from the rest of the competitors in terms of the ingredients, in terms of the features, or the design, style, the durability, and whatever the product attributes, that is what we call product-based differentiation. Take it down. Differentiation is the companies wants to differentiate their product or service from the competitors. One of the way, there are different differentiation bases. There are different differentiation bases. First one is product-based differentiation. Product-based differentiation. Based on the product ingredients. Based on the product ingredients. Features. Attributes. Style. Design. Colors. Product can be distinguished from the competitors. Product can be distinguished from the competitor's product. In most of the cases, they use this one. Most of the companies are using this one, like the Toyota, Honda, whatever the example you take there. If it is a physical product, they are using product-based differentiation. So that you can take down any exam. And the other base of differentiation is service-based differentiation. So now you can guess the meaning, like from the service that you want to distinguish your service different from the other competitive services. Some examples. Using the service, you want to show that you are different. Example. Basically, you are providing a unique service that is not there with the others. Telecommunication sector, yeah. Yes. So they might be saying that like, yeah, that is what I was about to say, that like the time to time they are saying that like unlimited call, this much bulk that you get for this much of a price. That's a service, yes. What else? What are the other examples?
Fast food
And you-
industry,
Sorry?
like fast food industry, like McDonald's.
Yeah, fast food industry, yes, they would say that like we provide the fresh food because we make for the order, something like that. Yes, that is also possible. And even the degree that you are following, this is an exemption batch, isn't it? That exemption is the service. They're saying that from the Chartered Institute, that like if you have already been qualified, if you have the membership for the Chartered, so then you can have a bypass for certain subjects and you can connect it and complete your degree. It's an exemption, it's a service. That's how they are distinguishing their degree program from the other private universities. Isn't it? Take down those examples. And the way of differentiating is product, service, and channel, like distribution. You might be distributing it in a unique way, your product or service. Examples. From the product, you can be unique, or from the services, you can be unique. And from the way that you offer the product, you can be unique. Some examples. Channel means the connection, how you're going to be connected with the customer. Huh? Yes, home delivery, yes. And that's the partly it's maybe a service, but it's just the way that you are connecting. So that's why like it's a unique the service that's been provided by almost all the fast food industry. Like if you take McDonald's, in the rest of the world, they don't have delivery, but in Sri Lanka, they have delivery. It's a kind of a competitive strategy here. Other than that, even HP, like when the majority of the laptops, they have already created the laptops and leave for the people to purchase it, but the HP, they say that you can design your own laptop. So you specify like, and then you place the order and that will be manufactured for you and it will be distributed to the place where that you are expecting to be distributed. Customizing. Okay. And even like you might have experience in some some hotels where like normally we can offer food item pre-cook. Okay. So that means like the set menus that they have decided people like these ones, so they have already created it and then leaving for people to buy. That is product concept. Okay. So they have already deciding in terms of the customer preferences. And there is another model like the manufacture for that is manufacture for the stock. Because said menu you can manufacture in advance and you are manufacturing for the stock. And then the people come and take from the stock. And there is another model like the manufacturer for the order, like the McDonald's, pizza, and those ones, they are going ahead with that model. Like they wait until the order is placed, and then once the order is placed, they make the product. So that is another distribution strategy. And there is another one, like some hotels you might have already experienced. Ingredients are there. What you have to do is you have to take the plate and you have to pick up the ingredients. And the chef is there so that you have to give that to the chef and chef is making the noodles or something for you. Have you ever experienced? So in the hotel industry, like they are positioning it as like a customization. Like say for an example, if I need if I don't need spices at all, So then whenever I'm picking up the ingredients, so I pick up only the ingredients what I want. And then that person is making that customized noodles only for me. So sometimes we may have some ingredients we don't like to eat, so that we have to pick and choose those ingredients and keep a side of the plate. So that the customized way, maybe we like it because it's made in front of us, and also it's only made for ourselves. That is even not the same as McDonald's, because McDonald's Big Mac means they have set the ingredients. Only you have a slight flexibility, add a little bit of more the cheese or not. Isn't it? There's a different way of offering the channel. So one way they provide the customization, so it's a different way of offering. And also the other way is they are saving from the staff. Because it's like you are working for the hotel. Persons, and they are saving the resources also. Otherwise, what will happen is our people it's a matter of perception. So you take a lot of food, even though you can eat or not, and then you are wasting. So they are saving that side also. Take it down. Let's channel the base differentiation. I have given some examples like deliveries by the Sri Lankan McDonald's. That is a different way when compared to the international context. And also HP, customized laptops can be designed and place the order. This is the other example. And the other example is customize the food item, say customize noodles or something in the hotel industry. That of course they are offering it as like kind of a luxurious service. With the street food concept, that is become much popular. That is channel-based differentiation. Now we discuss about product-based, service-based, channel-based. And the other one is image. Image-based differentiation. That is so simple, like you are using the brand name. Your company brand name is the one that you are going to use to distinguish your company product from the rest of the competitors' one. That almost all the super brands are using it. Like the luxurious automobiles, even Apple, and they say that we are Apple, so that's why it's the luxurious price. Something like that. So you can take down those examples. Then the other one is people-based differentiation. People-based differentiation. Now you can guess the meaning, like we are using the people to differentiate our service or product from the rest of the competitors offering. How come? In which industry that it might be using? Just think about an example. I know that you might be hungry because it's like 12:15, but what to do? Keep trying on the examples, at least it makes you awake. Specialist, okay, of the doctors or something like that. Okay, children, someone said children, like, so children in which way? Like sometimes you may have an idea which I'm not getting it properly. You are using children to distinguish. Okay, let's see. That means like it's mainly being used in services. So the services, like you are using your employees, your staff, as a way of distinguishing your service from the others. Some examples would be the consultants in hospitals. So they would say that, okay, say for an example, the one who is closely located gardens, and they say that if you want to get your bypass being done by an Indian surgeon, so we are taking their services. So then the specialists are being used as a way of distinguishing your service from the rest of the competitors. And some other examples. Why I'm saying that, like, that people factor, it's predominantly used in the services. Why is that? People factor predominantly used as a basis of differentiation in services. Why is that? Why not in product? Because that's why I asked the examples from the service sector. Can't it be happen in the product? Yes, it's possible even in the product also, but it's mainly being used in services. Why is that? Okay, different, yeah, different age groups. Yeah, you can't separate the person from the service from the service provider. Simple example, if I'm not there, you won't get my service. Isn't it? Okay. So then every person is having a service attached to that person. So then you are getting the experience of both service and that person. It cannot be separated. So that's why, like, if you go to a particular, I would say some banks, the public sector bank and the private sector bank, you certainly get a different service from the private sector. Sometimes the same technology, same environment, same comfort, same product, same services, but still you feel something different, something very friendly and close in the private sector. Why? People who giving it. Even if you go to doctor, some doctor would not be that much very closely having chat with you, and another one is handling you very friendly way. You like the second one, but you get the same service. Understand? And also you are experiencing a different lecturer's approach throughout the semester, which you can't separate one from that person's service. So therefore, people factor is massively being used in the services. That is even in the banking sector and even in the hospitals, even in salons. So that's why, like, sometimes when you want to have a haircut, you prefer to be done by a particular person. It's not sometimes you will get the same quality from another one, but you feel very close. Take it up. Based on the people, service can be distinguished from the competitors. Take down examples like private banks versus public bank. And specialized doctors in hospitals. Even like some hotels, they say that the chef is this person, like they're highlighting the chef. And even like very recent, I don't know whether they are still continuing in Sri Lanka, like the pizza. In the promotion, they say that they have the super staff. In commercial, they had a commercial saying that they have a super staff team to serve you. Like they're highlighting the people factor. Even an education institutes, I don't know, like whether you had that kind of an orientation once you started your degree program. Then normally in any private universities, what they are doing is like they are hiring the best people and they put that into the portfolio, staff portfolio, and in the orientation they show that these are the panel of lecturers that serving for you. So that is people-based differentiation. Put down those examples in education institutes like having qualified experience lecture panel. Now I discussed like product-based, service-based, yeah. The people, personal, image, and channel. Is that clear? Now, let me ask a small question, like, out of these 5 bases of differentiation, like, which one is the most difficult one to be copied by a competitor? They say that the highest preemptive quality. Which one is having the highest preemptive quality? That means hard to copy by the others. Huh?
People-based
Yes,
references.
image, and even more than the image, people.
People-based.
Yeah, because even image you also can build up. As the Apple is building up, Samsung also can build up. And the Nokia also can build up. They are own unique, but of course you can't copy somebody else's image, somebody else's brand name. But the most difficult one is the people base. So that's why a lot of companies are doing what? Headhunting. If you want to distinguish, you have to take that person. That's the only way that you can break the competitor's competitive advantage. That's why some the like specialist doctors, they are very powerful in some hospitals because they say that if you don't treat me like this, I'll go and serve for the other hospital. Then all the patients are going to the other hospital because like they are not coming for the service, but they are coming for the person. Understand? Okay. Let's take that as also note. They are like the most preemptive one is the people-based differentiation. Because the only way that it can be copied is hiring the person. That's where like the nowadays in marketing, people are very much concerning about the personal branding. So you yourself should be a unique product so that you can demand. And that's why they are maintaining their brand in the corporate. They don't want to get it damaged because then that they are selling. So most of the competitive strategies are getting into that differentiation. It can be not just one differentiation. It can be a couple of differentiation. You might be using image, personal, and a product as well, or maybe services coming as a package. Clear? And the other one is like focus strategy. In the focus strategy, where like the first 2 strategies like cost leadership and the differentiation, it's happening in the mass scale for a larger community. But for the focus strategy, for a niche market, for the very special people that you are treating, like some examples, if I'm giving everything, you will sleep. I of course can't see the virtual students, but I can see the physical students like diminishing marginality has started. You can read from your face. But unfortunately, I have to continue for another 20 minutes or so. So at least give me an example. Very special requirements that the companies are treating. If your brain is seized, just ask somebody else who is sitting next to you. Even a virtual class also you can contribute for us. Of course, you have to stand alone because there is no way
Luxury
that you
vehicle.
can. Pardon?
Luxury vehicle.
Luxurious vehicle. Okay, let's see. Very unique requirement. You are not worried about the number of customers. Okay, like the luxurious market, the examples passed on, and also the example that's being given in the virtual class. The both referring to luxurious market. Okay. Think about like niche market means the customers are very unique, very special requirement they do have.
Architecture.
Huh?
Architecture.
Architecturing. That's like even luxurious, the products and also architecturing. So that's I can see some of the differentiation points as well. So that is also coming under basically differentiation. The unique means the requirement is unique. It's like, may I give you some more time for you to try out? Ah, very good. Yes. So there are some children with a special requirement. Okay. They cannot be gone with the normal education. So then it's a niche market. It's a focus strategy. Or maybe like there are some children, those who are prematurely born. So they need like a very high level of nutrition. Like the Hemas, they have a very special milk powder kind of formula for those premature babies. So they won't come to the commercial and say that we have, because they don't need to come to the commercial because it's not a mass scale business. So what their approach is totally different. Their competitive approach is different because it's a focus strategy. What they are doing is say that they want to cover up the Western province. It's the commercial area in Sri Lanka. So they are getting the information from the hospitals where these premature babies are living. Contact details and contact those the parents. And asking like, we have this kind of a product, so would you like to try out? So then take the orders and distribute. It's a focus strategy. Focusing about a niche market where the people's requirement is very unique. And you might be a person who is creating some body parts for the disabled. That's a niche market. So that's why we can't see those ones in the mass commercial promotions because no need to. Focus strategy means addressing the very unique requirement of the customers, addressing the very unique requirement of the customers. We call it as a niche market. Niche. NITCH, niche market. Example like the formula for prematurely born babies, or maybe like education for we normally don't say different like disabled. We say that differently able people. Or maybe like the one who is making the dresses for the differently able people. So this can even be a like the differentiation can be combining different differentiation basis, but normally we don't combine low cost with the differentiation and also differentiation with the focus. It's totally different approaches because by saying low cost, you can't say that you are unique. So you have to stand alone either the low cost or differentiation or focus. Focus differentiation can be slightly combined, but certainly not the low cost and the differentiation. Any questions from that discussion? Silent always take to a positive meaning, so no questions. And the other one is like, depending on the market position, like your brand is holding, so your competitive strategy, how you are competing is determined. Like basically we have like 4 roles that the brands are playing. It would be a market leader, challenger, follower, or nicher. Like market leader is the one who is having the largest market share. So it says that at least you have to have 40% or more than that. Like if you take a particular cake, if the cake is the size of the total market, out of that one, if a particular brand is having 40% or more than, then that brand is the market leader. And if it is 30% challenger, 20% follower, and the nicher is the one who is having the lowest market share. Okay. So depending on the position that you are having in the market, your strategies are changing. Okay. That's what it says. So these are the main strategies of the market leader. I will start from the easiest one, protect the market share. Like if you have 40%, so you are doing everything to protect that 40% at least, because otherwise you are losing the leadership. Okay. Or else to expand the market share. So even though you are being a market leader, you have like 50% of the market share, still you might be interested to have like at least 1% increase within a year. Okay. So that you want to expand your portion out of the total market. I suppose those two are very clear, like at least to protect or else to expand the market share. But the first one is a bit unique, like it says the expand the total market. What does that mean? I told you like the total market is the size of the cake. Now the market leader is the one who wants to have a bigger cake. Why is that? If the cake is becoming bigger and bigger, who is the most benefited person? Market leader. Just imagine like if you are in your family, like you are the person who is having the largest portion from a cake. So you prefer the large size of a cake is being given because you know that the highest portion comes to you. The same strategy here. Market leader would try to expand the total consumption. How? How it can happen? Say that like if I'm taking the Sri Lanka, if I take FMCG product, Signal is the market leader for toothpaste market. So then they are trying to expand the total market. How it happened? How they are trying to expand the total market?
That's it.
Yeah, that you are doing the differentiation to expand the market share. So you might be like say for an example, the Signal would introduce a herbal Signal. Why? Because you want to take a portion from the customers, those who are interested for the herbal. So that means you are taking somebody else's part. Like the Sudanto Superiviki's part, you are going to take. Or else like the Signal would introduce the toothpaste that is for sensitive teeth. So then what you are going to do? You are going to take the portion from the Sensodyne. It's not a total market expansion. That is, you want to expand your portion. You are going to take somebody else's piece, adding to your piece. But I'm saying that the total market, like the total size of the market in Sri Lanka. How does that happen? Toothbrushes, yes. Yeah, they can introduce the toothbrushes, but it's not a toothpaste. Toothbrush is another category. Yes. So then again, it's expanding their business portfolio. Product portfolio is being expanded, but not the toothpaste market. Size of the toothpaste market, I mean. You just think about like the cake, the example that I gave you, the 1 lb cake or 2 lb cake. So if the total size of the cake is 1 lb, say 1 kilo, so then from 1 kilo, you are holding say 50%. Then you can imagine the size that you are enjoying. But if to 1 kilo is expanding it to 1.5 kilos, then still you are getting 50%. But that 50% is much bigger than the previous 50%. So that's why market leader wants to have a bigger cake. That is what it's called, total market expansion. But I'm asking how practically the size of the cake can be increased. How practically size of the toothpaste market can be increased. Signal is doing it. And so, sorry, I have taken a Sri Lankan example. Signal is a toothpaste brand that is playing as a leader in the Sri Lankan market. So if you allow Sri Lankans, the virtual students, of course you know it. which is a Unilever brand. By giving the free samples, you might be giving the free samples to let others to taste it and come to your brand. Then again, it's the market share expansion. You are
They can
going to
move to the
rob
export
somebody else's
market.
customers.
They can move to
Exporting.
the export, yeah.
Anyway, we are exporting. You don't make toothpaste in Sri Lanka.
Increasing the volume of production.
Increasing the volume of production. Yeah, we can, that is the point. We can increase the volume of the production, but there should be people to buy.
Reduce price.
They are doing advertising. From the advertising, what they have to say, it's easy, I
Reduce-
can tell, but I'm just squeezing you to get it. Because otherwise you will sleep. So the virtual students also can contribute. Yes, we can use advertising. From the advertising, what message we have to pass to expand the size of the cake.
You can
You're
ask
now
to rub
getting
your
closer.
teeth 2 times, 3 times per day.
Ah, brilliant. Yes. Yeah. So you see, like, I don't know who said that. I just want to see that. So who said that answer?
It's
Can you
me.
please raise your hand? The virtual student who said, just now who said the answer? Wow. Yeah. Sandran is a unique student. I have recognized. You lost the game to virtual student. Okay. So, yeah, because I told you, I said that now the size of the cake is 1 kilo. Now you want to make it 1.5 kilo. So anyhow, yes, you got the point. The production needs to be increased. Yes, that's why I said that it's getting closer. The point is correct. And also you said that, yes, we can increase the consumption through the advertising so that you have to increase the consumption. That's the point that the one you lost. So then how we increase the consumption? Asking people to brush their teeth frequently. So in Sri Lankan case, like, have you all remember the commercial that they have gone, not this one, the previous one, they say that like you have to brush your teeth twice a day. Because, and also like they are targeting it's the married males. They are asking the father to brush the teeth in the night time. Have you remember that advertisement? Because from a research they have found out in Sri Lanka, like the married males are not brushing their teeth in the night time. So that's why like they are targeting, they are speaking to that crowd. If that crowd got the habit of brushing the teeth, then the toothpaste that they're having at home quickly running out. Isn't it? So once it's been running out, like if it is happened to one family, like number of families, if the tube is running out quickly and you are purchasing more and more, then altogether it's increased the volume. So that you want to have more production. So then the cake size is expanded. So others also benefited because it's a kind of a general message that you are telling to everyone. They are not telling that you have to use the signal. But anyway, since they are the market leader, they know that they will be the most benefited one. And some other brand is also doing it in Sri Lanka. Signal did it. And then also they are doing it for the toothbrushes. How? How they are doing it for the toothbrushes now? Replace your brush, because that is also something they have found out, like they are the market leader even for the toothbrushes also. So now they are inculcate the habit of replacing the toothbrush frequently, because they have found out like some people are not replacing, like I think you do remember that commercial. Then again, they are targeting married males. That all the like the parents are in the audience, and the son is playing the role of a toothbrush, that the son is like playing the role of the father, and then the father's toothbrush is looking unusable. So then they're coming to the audience and saying that I'm so old, but I'm not replaced or something like that. The father is going behind the chair. So that's a pass a message to the audience. You have to replace your toothbrush until it comes like this looking. Again, it's a total market expansion. Now I give two examples, like So you tell me another example. There's another company which is doing it in Sri Lanka, total market expansion. Again, it's FMCG. Increasing the consumption. That's the other thing they're doing. Then we'll do who else is doing. First, you take down those two examples. Can someone trace about another example, but that's happening in Sri Lanka? Marmite. Yes, we can take the Marmite also because the Marmite doesn't have a much of a substitute. So that's why we can take it as a total market expansion. Because like they are asking the Marmite can be used in different options. Yes. So that is slightly I can take because you're taking the people, those who hate Marmite, to be Marmite lovers. So then the market will be expanded. Huh? Yes. Who is doing? In which hand wash is doing? Lifebuoy, yes. What was the message the Lifebuoy was giving? Not recently, just a few months or months back. Like you have to wash your hand 5 times a day. Like they are giving the 5 instances as well. Especially that was a campaign they ran during the COVID. Okay. So what happened, like when the like 5 members washing the hand 5 times a day, what will happen? The hand wash will quickly run out. So that per house you need more hand washers. So then the total market will be expanded. And having said that, they have the other brands also, but they are the market leaders, so they are the most benefited. But this is being done only by the market leader. Others won't do it because the benefit goes to everyone. Take it down. So Lifebuoy did it during the COVID. Whenever you are coming up with those kind of campaign for competition, now you as like the ones those who are in the accounting discipline, now you have to have a glance of looking at it because whenever we are spending the company's money, make sure that should benefit the company. Otherwise, it's like you are promoting somebody else's brand. So that's why this shouldn't be the strategy of a challenger. Even like if you take some industries like savory in Sri Lankan savory market, Manchi and Maliban, like they are almost like strong equally. So that's why they won't do this one. So only the one time I do remember like that small hunger, which was a campaign from CBL, the Manchi CBL, it's super green cap or smart green cap. Whatever the yellow color one, I can't remember the brand. So they say that even for small hunger, you can have that one. So that means small hunger means the consumption they are going to increase. So then even the Maliban also it's being benefited. Because you won't change the brand, but you will have the more consumption for the small hunger also. But then it was stopped because then once the Maliban is also more or less the same in the market share. So they stopped that campaign because the benefit goes to the Maliban also. I hope it's clear. Leader strategies is clear. And all the others are like just to rob somebody else's customers, like the nowadays the Flowguard what they are saying is we have flow oil so that you have to use this one. So that's basically just getting the market share from the others. So that is basically what the market challengers are doing. So the market challenger is the second powerful person in the market. Just after the leader. So where like they have two approaches of competition. Full frontal attack and the indirect attack. What is this full frontal attack? First listen to me, please. So the challenger, like if the challenger is also like the equally powerful as the leader, then you can attack face to face. That is what it says, full frontal attack. Because you are also powerful. Your brand is also powerful as the leader's brand. That is what Maliban and Munchie is doing. Because the one time the Maliban would be market leader, Munchie is the challenger. Next year, it would be vice versa. Munchie become leader, Maliban become the challenger. So small difference is there between these two companies. Okay, equally powerful, so that they are attacking with each other. So how do we know that they are attacking with each other? If you are a little vigilant on the commercial, you can see it. Super, not a super, even though you are super, but you are not super. That campaign. Okay. So then that campaign was initiated by the CBL, the other competitor, and saying that you are not super. The Superman is coming and somebody wants to carry the Superman, something like that. Okay. And also like, don't get confused. So don't get confused like for the, that is for lemon puff, isn't it? Lemon puff, that lemon, real lemon and something like that campaign, it's also full frontal attack. Face to face, they are attacking. And even for the chocolate cream biscuit, the real chocolate. Okay. So those one shows that because even in their portfolios, so those are very powerful brands. The cream cracker and the lemon puff and the chocolate cream biscuit. So that's why they are taking those three brands and they are using the full frontal attack. Okay. But as per the Sri Lankan rules and regulation, you can't use the brand of the somebody else's. So that's why they are not using the brand, but indirectly they are just attacking the leader. Okay. So like some other examples, like you might have seen in the commercial, full frontal attack, face to face, they are attacking, but not claiming the brand. Some of the examples. Huh? Yes, detergent, yes. So they are also saying that we are super because they can only say in that way so long as they are also powerful as the leader. And even these days there is another campaign going in Sri Lanka like Clover, where that the lady in the blue color top and coming and complaining that the lady's child is having a toothache, and the one who is in the red color top and giving the instead of the Clo, so they are giving the toothpaste, Clogard, and saying that you have to use this one. So that is the Clogard is the one who is attacking to signal. Full frontal attack, because the Clogard is also now becoming like equally powerful as signal. So that's why they are attacking face to face. But if you are not like, if there is a huge difference, you can take down those examples like full frontal attack, take down those examples. In the savory market in Sri Lanka, the Maliban and Munchie, they attack with each other in public. You can take down the examples for cream cracker. Though it says super, it's not super. That campaign. And also the lemon puff campaign. Don't get confused. Select the genuine the lemon. And although real real chocolate biscuit, it's with the Maliban or something. Also, you have to keep a note like full frontal attack is always happen when the challenger is also equally powerful as the leader. This will be implemented when the challenger is mostly equal to the leader. In terms of the market share. And the other one is indirect attack. Like basically indirect attack means like guerrilla attack. Like you won't fight face to face. Like you are like fighting but being hidden. Why we are doing so? Because you are not powerful. Even though you are challenger, like you are the second best brand, but if the leader is having like 60% market share, then you are left for the rest of the people only like 40%. So even if you have like 35% or 30%, still you are half of the leaders. So you can't attack directly. So then it's going to be indirect attack. So that means we call as guerrilla attack. Because you are not powerful. If you face-to-face attack and the leader will chase you out from the market itself. So that's why like some, even in the savory market, like there are some brands like they won't come to the commercial and they say that we are doing these ones. And even in some markets, like even in the toothpaste market, you haven't seen like the Sudanta is attacking Klogard or Signal. But Sudanta is also a good brand. Because they know, but they know that in terms of the market share, so they can't get closer to those two. So therefore, they are doing just an indirect attack because if indirect attack in a sense like if the leader reduce the price, you won't reduce the price. Suppose that if the leader reduced the price of the product by 10 rupees, challenger who is not that much powerful, you can reduce by 15 rupees. Because what will happen? Leader will reduce it by 25 rupees. Because leader is having the most strength. Then you can't reduce by 30 rupees, then you are lost. Understand? Okay. So that if you are not equally powerful, you won't directly attack with the leader. Especially you won't go with the price war. Price war means giving discounts. If leader reduce, let the leader reduce the price. You do something else. You might do like a product modification, or you might offer a new product, something like that. You won't go and attack the person. Take it down. Indirect attack means guerrilla attack, which you don't attack the leader face to face. That is mainly because leader is too powerful than the challenger. Example, if leader cut down the price, challenger may not cut down the price, but may do something else. Example, like modifying the product, something like that. It's like, this is so practical, like when you are schooling, especially boys, like when you want to fight with someone, you will, if you are strong, if you are very much sure that you are strong enough to fight face to face, you will go for the full frontal attack. Otherwise, having said that, you are a small fellow, you don't know how to fight, you do something else. Okay. That is guerrilla attack. ഞാൻ കുട്ടിക്കാലം കൊണ്ടേ Please do something. Okay. So no point like you are initiating a fight, then like penalizing yourself. And the other one is follower, third person in the market. Let me finish this one and then we go for a break. Is it all right if I'm going to finish this one and go for a break and you want just to the there, then after that it's over. Yeah, it's over. Okay. The market follower, that is a third person. So which means like it says that the runner-up firm that wants to hold the share in the industry without rocking the boat. Always you have to follow with a distance. Like you are imitating either leader or challenger, you are imitating, but you won't get closer. Because once you get closer, the leader or challenger will chase you out. So just going behind by imitating what those people are doing, but not like 100% imitating. Like some products we have in Sri Lankan market, again in the savory market, this is very much popular. Like we have some biscuits like Crisp biscuit, Crest or something, and also like Mama's biscuit. So those ones, like what they are doing is how they are imitating, like the Pisto Crest, they are imitating the Melbourne cream cracker, the super cream cracker, because their wrap is more or less the same color. And they have designed more or less the same way of wrapping, and they are keeping it in the same shelf in the supermarket, the closer to the competitor. So sometimes the people accidentally, they are taking that cream cracker, and also the price also they are keeping the substantial difference, especially nowadays with economic crisis. People instead of going for the branded one, they will go for the followers brand. But they can't imitate fully because the taste is different. So they are imitating in terms of the package, in terms of the place where they are keeping. So they are giving some extra commission to the supermarket and saying that our product should be adjacent to this product. So that's what they are doing. Take it down. Follower means following by keeping a distance. Example, the savory market in Sri Lanka. Imitating either leader or the challenger. Imitating either leader or the challenger. But not 100% imitation. It's not 100% imitating. Sri Lankan savory market, the kissed biscuit. I think, I don't know whether I'm pronouncing the brand correctly. There is a kissed biscuit or something, or the Mama's biscuit. So the kissed is imitating the leader, the super cream cracker. No, smart cream cracker. The Melbourne's one, which is coming in red color wrapper. Like it's exactly the design in the same way as Melbourne. Like the way that they have the drawn up the biscuits and the place where they have put the name, everything it's the same package. But the price, there is a substantial difference. And they are keeping in the same shelf as the leader's brand. And economic crisis where the followers are having more room. But it's not a fully imitation because the taste cannot be imitated. And even they are not imitating in the price. Why they are not imitating in the price and the taste? They will rock their boat. The leader will chase them out. And the last one is market niche. That always niche means like special requirement. You might be a person who is like making biscuits or sweets and like targeting very local market. So you don't have any harm for the rest. So that is the niche strategy. You identify a special customer or special region, you fulfill that person's that area requirement, that's it. It may be for special customers or it may be for special market or special service. You might be, example, you can take it down like some sweet manufacturers. who manufacture and sell the sweets only in a particular area. They don't keep their product in the supermarket and they don't come to the commercial and say any messages to the customers. It's only a local business. So now we are going to the end of the competition where in the previous discussion, I said that we have to be very much focused to the customers. And now in this discussion, I'm saying that we must have very concern about the competitors. So that it's like both way, customer centered and competitor centered. Like if we don't care anything, we don't care about the customers and we don't care about the competitors, we say that the product orientation. This is totally wrong. Or else if we are concerning about the customers but forget about the competitors, customer orientation. Vice versa is competitor orientation, but the market orientation is the idea where you have to give the equal weight for both. Closely monitor what's happening in the customers and also closely monitor what the competitors are doing. So both are important. So that the market orientation is the place where the company should keep their feet whenever they are keeping the strategies. So that is the end. Any question? I know that we will not answer any question because we want to go for it. So that's the end of the competition. We'll take half an hour break because it's the lunch break. So for the virtual student, I'm saying that we are taking half an hour break. Okay, I hope you had a good break. And like for the virtual students, we are back. And in the break, of course, like I try to upload the assignment brief, but you see, like still it's being like the same thing. You have to get a kind of a function here for me to either the drag it or else like just to attach it, but I don't know why it doesn't work. This was the issue even the last time also. I hope it will fix it up itself. Otherwise, I don't know, are there any like attach represent or something? Because this needs to have a kind of an icon where I can attach. But it seems like, as you can see, apparently that is circling and then it won't get up. So something wrong with it. It's a technical thing which I can't fix up because I'm not IT specialist, though I'm from the same marketing. So then, but at the same time, I want to see that it's been handicapped because you have to start your assignment. So other than uploading this one, are there any way that I can circulate that assignment brief with you? But I have already created and this one like assignment brief weekend, this one, yeah. This is one that which I have already created, but can you suggest me another way of circulating this? Do you have a batch rate? So who is that? Okay. I will give my email address. I will just type here. So this is my email address. If you can just drop me the test mail, so then I can attach and send you, and everyone will get it. Now, so I'm going to use the whiteboard for a while until I get the that one. I hope that you all can see. I think you all have remembered I told you like this is what our syllabus, but it finishes here. So we have to understand the requirement of the target market and then the marketing, it's all about like understanding the customer's requirement and fulfill them better than what competitors do. At the same time, you have to maintain the profitability. So that one, first we should understand the requirement of the target market, and after that, we have to have strategies to fulfill such requirement. And then now we have finished this part in your syllabus. So where we discuss about the some basics like introduction and also the marketing environment. And in the environment, since it's like the macro proposals, then we discuss about like the consumer behavior and the competition. Also, we discuss about the marketing like orientations. These are the topics that we have already covered so far in your syllabus. That's everything is coming under the first step of marketing management. Now we are going to develop the marketing strategies. So this part, then after that, what the marketing managers are doing, just a matter of implementing and controlling. Okay. So these two, we don't do it in the class because you'll have the bachelor's level, so that the yuan syllabus finishes here. So what I'm telling now, the first part is over. Now I'm letting for the other part to go. Okay. So I'm just telling to the virtual class where like, I don't know, I hope that you can see the whiteboard. The marketing is all about it's understanding the requirement of the target market and fulfill them better than what competitors do. At the same time, you have to maintain the profitability. And then like first you understand, then you develop the marketing strategies to fulfill such requirement in an outstanding way. Then those design strategies you have to implement and control. Implementing part and the controlling part, we don't cover up the undergraduate level since you're at the bachelor's level. So that is out of your syllabus. So the first two elements are the ones that's been included. In that case, I have already like the finish, I would say like 60% of your syllabus, where all the topics that I have already covered up like introduction, co-marketing concepts, marketing philosophies, environment, consumer behavior, and the competition, everything is coming under the main area of understanding the market. And then like we have designing the marketing strategies. So that is the next step which I'll be taking you through. You want to take down this one? I'm going to remove the last 2 points, and then after that I just want to expand something. In the meantime, I'll see whether I have got the test mail so that I can circulate this to you until you're taking it down. It's sent, it doesn't come, so I don't think that I'll be able to upload it. In terms of marketing strategies, now we are supposed to discuss how we design the marketing strategies. So in terms of marketing strategies, basically we are answering two questions. So it's like, now we know about our market. Now we have to decide like, who would be our target market? That is the first thing, okay? So that's the first question we have to address, like who is the target market? Make it more practical way. Who are our customers? Who are the customers? That means we have to make a decision about our target market. That is the first thing. For us to make that decision, we need something called STP strategies. That means what we have to do is like, having said that we can't offer a particular product in a way that matches to everyone. First, we have to take all the people in Sri Lanka, say for an example, like if you want to offer a nutritious drink, so you take all Sri Lankan people. Having said that, the people's nutrition requirements are different. What you have to do is you have to like take all the people and put them into groups, isn't it? Because the children's requirement is different from the young generation. So that is different from the adults. So therefore, first we have to take the people and put them into different groups. That is what we call segmenting. Then out of those segments, we have to decide like which segment would be ideal for us to offer our product. Are they the children or are the young generation or the adults? So then that means we have to select our target market. So that is what we call targeting. Suppose that we have decided, okay, we will offer something for children. So where we have decided our target market, that is the main focus of this. And then you have to decide like how we want to offer that. Like you want to place that in the minds of the customers. Maybe the one with the highest protein or one with the very tasty in terms of the like the vanilla flavor, or maybe the rich of these nutritions, right? Like whatever the way that you want to place that right in the minds of the customers. So that is what we call position. So in short, we call as STP. So that is the one side of strategy. Once you have this part, now you know your target market. Also, you know that how you have to position that in the minds of that customers. Then you have another question like how to fulfill. such requirement. Now you know about them, and also you know that how you have to place the brand in their mind. And in this now you have to have a product designed to match this. Then also you have to mark a price for it. Then you have to design the place to keep the product for people to buy. And also you have to have a promotion campaign. This is what we call 4 Ps. That is only if it is a physical product. But if it is a service, you have to consider about the people who offer, because the people factor is very important in a service. And also like the physical evidence, like the surrounding, and also the process. So we are adding another 3. If it is a service, that will become 7. So in terms of 4 Ps or 7 Ps, we call this as marketing mix. This is what we call marketing mix strategies, where we need marketing mix strategies to decide how are we going to fulfill this target market requirement. Understand? Then the marketing strategies means this is both aspects. So now I'm starting this one, and after that this will be flipped. So that is the rest of your like mind map, how I'm going to finish your syllabus. For the virtual class, like I hope you can see the whiteboard. In terms of marketing strategies, we are addressing 2 questions. Like say for an example, if you want to offer a nutritious drink for the Sri Lankan market, write it down. Okay. So like what I wanted to say was like, yeah, in terms of marketing strategies, having said that we have understood the market requirements, now we want to offer a particular product. We know that Sri Lankan people are like that. So likewise, we have like a broad understanding about the market. Then after that, say that you have an idea. Okay, we will offer a nutritious drink. But we know that like we can't offer just a one product in a way that matches to all the Sri Lankan people. What you are doing is then you have to decide to whom do I have to offer my product. That was the first question. Who are the customers? So that means you have to make a decision about your target market. Okay. So for you to decide your target market, the first thing that you are doing is you take all the people and put them into groups. So within the group, they are similar, but across the group, they are different. That is that division, what we call as segmenting. And then after that, say like for nutritious drink, say that as per the age, you decided 3 groups are there. Why we take the age? Because based on the age, nutrition requirements are different. So we take children, young and adults. Okay. So then you decided, okay, as per the Sri Lankan the environment, you might decide we will offer something for the adults, because Sri Lanka we are having the aging population. So it's not the children category is expanding and not the young generation is expanding, but the elderly generation is expanding. Okay. That's what we have learned in the environment. Okay. So that you might decide, okay, I will offer a nutritious drink for elders. So that selection of that group is what we call targeting, means selecting your target market. Okay. That is the one that is standing for T, targeting. And then after you have decided your target market, then you have to decide, okay, I want to offer something for elders. So how I should write my brand in their mind? Like the way that the dialogue is doing, like your future today. So it's saying that the latest technology will bring something like that. Okay? So that you have to have a kind of a positioning statement. This is how I want to place my brand in the elders generation in Sri Lanka. So that decision we call as positioning. So segmenting, targeting, and positioning, we call in short as the STP strategies. That is for the first part of the strategy. What is our target market? Once you have understood that one, then the next part is commencing, like how we have to fulfill their requirements. So then how to fulfill such customers' requirement? Since you have already understood their requirements, you have to design a product to match it. Then you have to have a price for it. You have to decide like how should I make available for people to buy it, distribution, place. And also you should have to have a strategy like how should I promote it? Okay, then promotion. So then it's product, price, place, promotion. We call it as 4Ps. That is for a physical product. But if it is a service, that is the thing is more complicated because the service is not something tangible. So basically we ensure the quality just by looking at the surrounding. Okay. If you go to a hotel, we don't know which quality, but if it doesn't smell nice, then we know that we won't get a good service here. Okay, something like that. So from the surrounding, we come to a kind of a conclusion about the quality in the services. So therefore, we have to be very much concerned about the physical evidence, the surrounding. That is what stands for PE, physical evidence. And also I said, even in the previous discussion, also in the services, people factor is very important. So that you have to decide like which kind of people do I have to use to give this service. So then the people strategy also is important. And the other one is process, like which steps that I should take my customers. So that is also something important in a service. So then we are adding another 3, people, process, and the physical evidence. Then it comes in total as 7. Then we call it as 7 Ps. So in if I put it in like a summary, we have to design either 4 Ps or 7 P strategies. So that is what we call as marketing mix strategies. So keep in your mind, marketing strategies means not only 4 Ps or 7 Ps. Marketing strategies include both STP and marketing mix. Because STP is for deciding the target market and how we have to write our brand in their mind. And then it's been followed with the 4 Ps or 7 P strategies. Your rest of the syllabus is this. Once I have finished this one, I have covered up your syllabus. So I have almost like covered up 60 to like I would say 60%, yeah. Then the balance is this. Clear? So now I'm starting with the STP strategies. Now it says that that's why here this name is being given customer driven marketing strategies. That means I'm taking from the second step. And also there we are trying to create a value because in marketing we don't say that we are selling any product, so that we are trying to create that value to the target market. So this is what I say, like we are talking about the SPP in this session. This is a question for you to think. I hope I'm audible, the virtual class. Am I audible? Are you there?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So hope the whiteboard and the screen both are visible. Can you please respond me whether the whiteboard and the screen both visible or not?
Yeah, madam. Both are visible, but the whiteboard is not clear much.
Yeah, that's what should I do? Like, okay, I have to get the support from your friend. Now I said that don't take the pictures. Now I have to ask, like, take a picture and upload to the group, please. Someone take a close picture and upload that to the group. So that's the only thing which I can do.
Oh, thank you, madam.
Okay, you are welcome. Can you please someone? You have already taken picture. Okay, then upload it. Like sitting down and teaching is really challenging for me, but I have to take that challenge. So all my 20 years is the first time that I'm sitting down and teaching. It's a different experience, but I'm used to it now. Okay. Okay. This is the question to you. Why should marketers target their market? Why they have to select the target market? Can you think of the reasons? I said that, like, if you want to offer something, you have to select a particular group. That means you have to select your target market. Then, this question should come to your mind. Very good. The resources are limited. If you have unlimited resources, you can offer different product to different customers, but it is not practical in a company because it's having only limited resources. So let me ask a small question, not something relevant to the subject. Like the temperature, it says 27, but this says 25. Is it 27 correct or 25 correct? 25 is correct, isn't it? Okay. It will take some time for me to get that temperature. Okay. What would be the other reason? That's one reason is, yes, the company doesn't have the unlimited resources. Because of the limited resources, yes, we have to make a choice. What would be the other reason? Very good. I'm really proud of you all. Yeah, I'm really happy because I will tell you, like, I'm sacrificing my weekend and coming here because this institute is always asking, please come and do, because the one time they have given to someone else's that most of the students fail. And then since I can't say no, I'm coming, but I'm really having kind of a self-satisfaction when you are taking something out of me. So when you're thinking like the way that I want you to think, I'm really happy. So today I'm really happy because you are the answers, but you are giving it. So it shows that, like, all the way that you have come through with me, so you are with me, because it's a real challenge because you all are accountants. Your left brain works. So it's very hard for me to twist it to the right brain, but you are slowly getting it because that means you have learned something out of it. So I must be thankful to you then. So keeping myself happy. Yes, the other reason is like the people are different. Okay. If they are same, then we don't need to select. Okay? So those are the reasons. Two reasons are there. One is people requirement are really diverse. So that's why we have to identify similar people and then go for a selection. And the other reason is company's perspective, where the companies are not having unlimited resources, so that you have to be very careful how we are going to utilize that resources to match the ideal target market. Write it down, those two reasons. This is one of the past paper question. I have asked it in one of the papers, like, why should marketers target their market? So that is what here it says in this slide, like not all the buyers are same. So they are different. As you can see, like in this world map, different colored people are there and different sizes of the people are there. That is just to pass a message like people are different. Okay, so that's why we can't just have a one product to match everyone. So that's why we need to segment. That's why we need to target, and also in order to position, first we should know like how to differentiate, then that is the one that we are using for position. Okay. Now I'll start with the segmentation. This is, by the way, this is the easiest the topic because it's a matter of dividing people as per different criteria. This is very easy to listen, but very hard to do. So now I'm taking you through the easy part, and I will give you a tutorial question to see like how difficult it is in practice. Okay? So having said that, the segmentation is to take the entire market and put them into different groups. So that is what it's called, the segmentation. That's what here it says. So dividing a market into a smaller group with distinct needs, characteristics, or behavior that might require separate marketing strategies or mix. So what the companies are doing is they just divide the larger heterogeneous market into a smaller segment. Within the segment, they are similar. And also it says like, I can't simply say that, okay, like for a FMCG product, this is how the segmentation. For this one, this is how the segmentation. It's very hard because that's what here it says that in the consumer market where there is no single way of segmenting the marketeers has to try different segmentation variables and either alone or in combination to find the best way to build the market structure. Like the competitive strategies, I can give you only the guideline, but how to divide the market in a way that you can see the diversity, it's up to the brand, that up to the product that you are having, and also the nature of the people. So we have different segmentation bases. So that means these are the groups. Some of those, the bases are related to geographic and some are demographic, psychographic, and the behavioral. So these are the ways, I mean the criteria that we can use to divide the customers. Okay. Some of those, each, like the smaller ones, world region or the country region, province, district, city, density, climate, age, gender, family size, and these ones are the segmentation variables. But these are the groups. Don't get confused because always like once I ask a question, because this is a common mistake where a lot of students are doing. So once I ask to segment the market based on some criteria, the students always get these ones as the criteria. They are not the criteria, they are the basis, like the group name given for a particular group. These each of ones are the segmentation variables. Okay. Now it's so simple. So sometimes like we can divide as per the world region. In the international level, like we know that we can identify European region, American region, Asian region, Australian region. So likewise, okay. So that is the division for the demographic. So take it down, demographic, world region, you identify the groups. European region, Asian region, likewise. Europe, Asia, America, so likewise, those are the regions that we can identify. Or else it can be even country level. Like even if we take South Asian region, so sometime within the South Asia, you can see the diversity among the countries. So that even you can divide the people as per the country, like Indian people, Sri Lankan people, Nepalians, Pakistan people, the Bangladesh. So then it's at the country level division. That is also possible. Then the country, you say that in the South Asia, countries would be Sri Lanka, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal. even within the country, if we see the diversity as per the region, then if we see the diversity as per the region, then we can divide like that. Like in Sri Lanka, we know that for certain things like the northern region, central region, southern region, there are some diversity. Then we can divide like that. As per the country region, Sri Lanka, northern, central, southern, likewise, we can divide. And also it can be based on the province. We have now 9 provinces in Sri Lanka. So even in whatever the country, it has provinces. So if we see the diversity as per the province, we can divide as per the 9 provinces in Sri Lankan context. Even it would be to the level of district. Also, it can be even to the cities. And the other one is, it's like the density. What do you mean by density? Density means what? How many people live in a particular area? That is what it's called density. Then in a particular square kilometers, so how many the people are living? So that we can divide like the high density area and the low density area. We can identify 2 groups. High density areas and the low density areas. The people within a 1 square kilometer, many people lives, then high density area. Within a square kilometer, if only less number of people are living, then we can say that this is a low dense area. Which kind of product that really matters to divide the people into high dense and the low dense area? Which kind of product that really matters? Apartments. Because normally we don't target the apartments for the low dense area. So you have to target the high dense area because many people are living in a smaller space. Like flats, apartments, for those kind of things. So that is really matters. And even it can be based on the climate. Like if we take in the world context, like we know that some countries are with the 4 seasons, autumn, winter, spring, summer. 4 seasons are there in some countries where the countries which locate a little far from the equator. Okay. So we have an equator in the central line across the globe. So if the country is located far from the equator, then those countries are having 4 seasons, like the autumn, winter, spring, summer. But the countries which locates closer to the equator, the one closer to the central where the sun directly comes, so that it doesn't have the 4 seasons, it's just, we call it as a tropical climate. You can see like 2 areas, 2 categories. Countries with the 4 seasons, countries without the 4 seasons. Countries with the tropical climate, I mean. Okay. So likewise, we can take even the climate also to divide the people into different groups. So which kind of product that really matters? The climate. Which kind of product? Based on the climate, the requirements are different. Clothing, yes. Umbrella, okay.
Household equipment, heaters.
Yeah, like the heaters. And also like the even automobile, whenever they're designing when they're designing for countries with the 4 seasons, they have to make sure that both heaters and the air con should be there. But for the countries without the 4 seasons, like the tropical climate, like even Toyota, when they're designing, say, a particular model, say Vitz, So for the European, like the countries with the four seasons, they have both aircon and the heaters, but for the other countries, they have only aircon. And even the material that they're using for the dashboard, again, they're changing, like, because they have to have like the material that can tolerate the high heat for the tropical climate. And even the paint that they are using, like the paint should not be something melting. And even like the grade of the tire, like what they're designing for the tropical climate, they're not much worried about the grazing. So of course there is a graze, otherwise it will be slippery, but it's not that serious. But if they're designing some tires for the four seasons, they have to be very careful because it should be something usable in the winter with the snow. What else? Even for handbags, shoes, the material that you are using, it really matters, because unless otherwise the material that you're using for the countries with the four season may not matches with the tropical climate, because then that will melt. Even a mobile phone, so the material that they are using, you have to consider. What else? Even like some FMCG product like cream, the body lotion, where like if you are targeting the countries with the four season, then make sure that it should, you have to highlight the moisture, because their problem is protecting the skin from getting dry, because the cold means taking out the moisture from your body. So that's why even whenever you are in the aircon, you have to have a lot of water, otherwise you will be dry out. Okay. And but with the countries without the four season, like the Sri Lanka and the Asian continent, and even whatever the country closer to the equator, our problem is not the moisture, because our air is anyway high humid. So if we have the lotion with the like covering of the body, we feel very uncomfortable, because it should be like something, the skin should be open to the air, because the moisture is not the problem, but our problem is the sun protection. So that's why some brands like Wesley, so it's a universal brand, but for the countries with the four season, they are highlighting the moisture, but countries without the four season, they are highlighting the sun protection. Even the production formula is different. The ones that they are offering for the four season, like the tropical climate countries, it's light. The other one is thick. And even what else, like comfort, which is also a universal product. But for the countries with the four season, they are highlighting the real comfort. So that's why that brand itself, that shows the comfort, because their clothes are very thick. So once you wash several times, it's become very hard. It's very hard to wear, like our towel, so many washes, so it's make really rough. So that the fabric conditioner is something required for those people. But anyway, the countries which doesn't have that problem, like the tropical climate, anyway, our clothes are very light. So we don't have that problem. So that's why even the comfort first introduced to the Asian continent, it failed, because that requirement is not there. Then after that, they had to change the production formula, what they have done now. Because the climate makes the difference. Now what the comfort is telling for the Sri Lankan market. Huh? What the comfort is highlighting. Smell, yes, because our problem is we are heavily sweating. So making our clothes smelling is our problem, not to make it comfort, because anyway they are comfort because the material is light. So that they have to put the fragrance in it, and they are highlighting another use. It's the like look and the fragrance. Why the look? Because we are very frequently washing our clothes. Whenever we are washing, the look goes down. So then they are saying that if you want to keep the look up and also to make that nice smell, reduce the comfort. Different formula. So if you buy comfort from the European context, it doesn't smell at all. Okay? But here, the smell is something that's important. Okay? Even detergent powder. So here we have put the like some fragrance into the detergent powder, but it was not the case in other countries. Okay. Take down those examples. For those kind of products, climate really matters. Even some cosmetics. For climates, I gave a lot of examples like clothing, handbags, shoes, automobiles, mobile phones, fabric conditioner like Comfort, and the like personal care product like body lotions, like what was the brand I said? Wesley, yeah. Even some product, some clothing item itself, it doesn't have a market in some countries, like blouses and those kind of things. We don't use as fashion item. And scarf and those kind of things. I have seen like some celebrities in Sri Lanka, like they are putting scarf, but with the short sleeves. Yeah, even Bharatiya Santosh, I have seen sometimes like they are putting the scarf, like covering up the neck with the short sleeve. Doesn't match, isn't it? Like the covering up the neck just to protect the pole. But while you are keeping the hands like open, likewise it's maybe a fashion, yeah. The that's all about like the how some demographic factors will distinguish the people's requirement. I hope it's clear. Now we'll go to the other one, demographic. That means people's characteristics. Based on the age, we can identify different groups like children, young, and elders. Identify those three groups. For certain products like food items, clothing items, shoe, those ones, it really matters. As per the age, we can identify at least three groups: children, young, and elders. And for certain products like food items and even the clothing item, even like nutritious drinks and those kind of products, that's really matters. And even for certain kind of vitamins and some like the insurance, like life insurance and those kind of ones, that matters with the age. And the other one is gender. Like, of course, as per the Sri Lankan culture, we have only two gender, male, female. So which kind of product that really matters? We identify the diversity as per the male, the gender. Which product that really matters? Cosmetics, yes. Clothing item. Salons. Would say like the personal care products, like that's differ male and the female, and the clothing item also it's differ. And some shoes and those kind of ones. And the other one is family size. Like we can at least identify three groups, like small family, medium family, and the large family. So small family, you would say that only like 2 members. Then the medium family, you would say that like 3 to 5 members. And the large family, you would say that, okay, more than 5 members. Which kind of product that really matters for that classification? small, medium, and large. Which kind of product? Food product. Why the food product? The family size really matters. Like based on the family size, we have to offer a different product. That is what it says. Of course, not the package sizes. It should be a different product. Which kind of product that really matters? The division is nothing to explain. Like it's a common sense, small, medium, large. But the matter is like which kind of product that we need that division is. Yeah, vehicles. Because if you are dealing with a particular market where the always like the Malaysia, the average family size is more than 5 members. So then the 7-seated vehicle is common. But if you take Sri Lanka, the average size of the family, it's like maximum 4. So that's why most of the vehicles are coming in 4-seat. Yeah, that's correct. Vehicles. Whether it's a 7-seated vehicle or 4-seated vehicle. Okay. Other than that, vehicle is the thing that we have to consider the size of the family. Other than the vehicle. Again, apartments, isn't it? Like whenever you're designing apartment, you have to decide like how many the bedroom should be there. So that's depending on the family size. Even whenever you're designing hotels, so you have to like allocate how many like the couple rooms and how many like the family rooms. So when you are planning out the hotel, you have to say like if the majority of the Sri Lankan community is going with the small families, then in your hotel you have to have a small rooms, the higher the number, not the large rooms. And the other one is family life cycle. That's closely linked with the age. Like what are the stages of the life cycle that you and me passing? Soon we born, we are passing the infant stage. Isn't it? Then we become toddler and then the child. And then those are the stages, infant, toddler, child. And then once it's like 10 plus teenagers, okay, until 19s. And then 20 started, it will continue like up to 40, like something like that. That's the young generation. And then it become adults. And then like elderly generation. So it's different stages that we are passing. So that also something matters for which kind of product. Because as per the different stages, the requirement would be different. What kind of product that we can classify the people into different stages. Okay, this much of people are there for children, and this much of people are there for the young category, and this much of people are there for the elders category. That's why I said that it's closely linked with the age. Again, nutrition's product, isn't it? And for toys, I can't hear you. Medicines, yes. For medicines, and even for some educational products like courses. And the other one is income. So simple, high income, medium income, and low income. High, medium, and low, we can identify 3 groups at least in the income category. Which kind of product that really matters? Income. Tobacco, alcohol, Status quo product like automobile, mobile phones, the vacation spending, those ones. And the other one is occupation. Based on the job that you do. Like you can divide the people as self-employed or unemployed. And then would be another category like the people, those who are working in the private sector, public sector, or people, those who are working in the executive capacity, non-executive capacity. So likewise, as per the job, you can identify different segments. Which kind of product that really matters? Based on the occupation, the requirements are different. Which kind of product? Clothing, yes. Clothing, shoes, handbags, cosmetics. Education, and again, so simple, like we can say that the people, those who have completed A-levels only. And the people with the bachelor's degree and people with the more than bachelor's degree. So which kind of product? That really matters. After this section is over, I'll just give you a 5-minute break. Huh? Don't worry, just tolerate for just another few minutes. I can see like some of you are almost late. Education, that classification, it's for which nature of product? Educational products. So based on the you see if more people are there with just completed the A levels, and you say that, okay, this is our target market so that we offer this kind of a course. And it would be depend, and the other one is religion. Like you take different religion and as per the religion, you can identify different groups. And it is the same for nationalities. As per the nationalities within the country, you can identify different groups. Which kind of product that the religion and the nationality matters? Food item, clothing item. Basically for those two, the religion and the nationality matters. Because based on the religion and the nationality, the dress that you are using is different, and also like the food product that you're consuming, it's changing. So I'll give you 5 minutes break. I know that you'll like come to the diminishing marginal utility, the toughest level, like you can't absorb any. Take 5 minutes break and come. So we are taking 5 minutes break, virtual students. Okay, hope you have energy to continue for another half an hour or so. May I take the class? May I take the class? So why I'm asking like that, for you to stop talking and also just being busy with the phone. And the other one is psychological factors. In terms of psychological factors, basically, let me see that. It won't work. Still, it's okay. So psychological factors, basically we can divide the marketing to three groups as per the social class. How? Upper class, middle class, lower class. So those are the categories that we can see as per the social class, upper class, middle class, and the lower class. So which kind of product that really matters? Huh? Automobiles, yes. Sri Lankan context, mobile phones. Luxurious product like branded wristwatches, branded clothing, and even the way that you are spending vacation. I told you that the other day, like as per the Sri Lankan, the experience, like even for some surgeries, this matters because they may go for certain hospitals just to maintain their social class. And even like nowadays, the trend is even for having like coffee. So that's why the people would go to barrister. So just for not for the coffee, that is for the social class. Okay. Otherwise, if you don't have a coffee, like you can have it from somewhere. So the other one is lifestyle, like which way that we can see the different groups as per the lifestyle. Healthy conscious people and non-healthy conscious people, that we can see two groups, two lifestyles. So that's really matters for exercise equipments and also like sports wears and some food items. And also like like what are the other ways that we can see different lifestyle? Material is